Hello and welcome. You would understand basic terms used in project management in this module. You would have correct definitions for these terms at the end of this module. You would also appreciate the need for project management. At the end of this video, you will be able to describe the terminology that is necessary to understand project management. You would be able to list down the benefits of project management for the company. You would also be able to list down the benefits of project management for the project manager. There are different kinds of projects. For example, there is a project to create infrastructure, a bridge over a river in a city. There is a project to develop a molecule for a new medicine. Or there could be a project to launch satellite in space. All these projects, although they are different in terms of the scale, in terms of their reachability, in terms of their impact, they still share something common. And that is what allows us to define the following terms which are relevant to projects and project management in general. What are these couple of terms that we need to understand? Say you are leading an expedition to climb a peak, Mount Everest for example. That would be almost like a project. That would be a project because it would consist of activities, a set of activities networked in a particular order aimed at achieving a defined goal. For example, before you start climbing, you will get the oxygen cylinders and not after that. There has to be a particular order. You want to achieve a definite goal, you want to climb the final summit. So that's why this is a project. You would also require management. You will require to have the right resources in the right numbers with the right quality, which will satisfy the project plan. So what is management? Management is the technique of understanding the problems and the needs and controlling the use of resources. In your imaginary Himalayan expedition, you would execute the project, you will do things as per the project plan. That is where project management comes into picture. It is organizing, coordinating, controlling various tasks in the project, resources in the project to complete the project successfully, to finally climb the mountain summit. Of course, you have an objective, and the objective is to unfurl your flag on the summit. So an objective is project scope expressed in terms of outputs, required resources and timing. Your project will not happen all at once. There will be multiple phases that you will go through. You will have a base summit, you will have the first summit, third summit, and finally you will make it to the top. So you go through a project cycle. A project cycle is defined as collection of generally sequential project phases, description and order depending on the control needs of the project management. At every stage, at every part of the cycle, you may decide to proceed or turn back. You will have standard processes, for example, a process to use oxygen cylinder. Similarly, in the project 2, you will have standard processes, which is defined as part of the project, which consists of simple and routine instructions to achieve the desired results. Of course, any and every project would require resources, it would require people, it would require money, it would require equipment, it would require assets. So project requires a resource or resources, and the resources are defined as manpower, machinery, money and materials required in a project. As they say, money makes the mayor go. Nothing can be done without money, including projects. So projects have a cost. What is it that you spend to accomplish the project objectives becomes the project cost. Project cost is formally defined as budgeted expenditure of the project. Now the project cost is not entirely spent on one single day, but it gets spent progressively over time, which is what we see on your screen right now. This is what we call as a project budget, and it is formally defined as the amount and distribution of money allocated to a project. A project would have project management principles, which would have been handed down by multiple projects done earlier so that our life becomes easier. So project management principles formally are defined as tools, processes, skills, and behaviors that are used to guide the project performance. Of course, you require a project manager to do any project. How can you do a project without a project manager? This is how we define a project manager formally. In simple words, the individual responsible for managing a project, period. And finally, what is project scope? Project scope is an umbrella term which takes care of all the deliverables, all the activities that are done in the project. So project scope is parameters, planning, formulation, execution, all of it together. Formally, it is defined as various parameters that affect the project in its planning, formulation, and execution. Having understood definitions of terms used in projects and project management, let us ask a more fundamental question. Why do we need project management? Or why do we so badly need project management? And here are some very interesting numbers for you to see. Current state of project outcomes. Met original goals. Only 62% of the projects met original goals. Completed within the original budget, 53% of the projects did that. Completed on time, only 49%. Experienced scope creep. About 45% of the projects experienced scope creep. Failed projects budget lost. About 32% of the projects lost their budget. Deemed failure. About 16% of the projects were deemed failure. This data is fairly recent and is from a reliable source. And it's also shocking at the same time. It shows us why do we need project management. We need project management because we require accountability. A project is accountable to the senior management. A project is accountable to the community and society at large. If a project fails, it ultimately results into more cost for somebody else. We require project management because there's a constraint of time. We don't have the luxury of doing things as and when we want. Since things are time bound, we require project management. We require projects, we require project management because of uncertain environment. Things can change at any time, things can go wrong at any time in a project. Therefore, we require project management, which would include risk analysis for uncertain environment. We require project management because there are team conflicts, and project management would tell us how do we resolve team conflicts. In this video, you learned that the terminologies that are necessary to understand the project management are project management, project objectives, project cycle, process, resource, cost, project budget, project management principles, project manager, and project scope.